Sarah.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to the Lovebird Kitchen. We are going to do a mixture of paleo, keto, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free recipes.
We'll also do, I'll do some exercise videos, just some simple stuff. I'm not like a personal trainer or anything like that, but just some stuff you can do at home, because we really do, our goal is to be an inspiration, because we've tried to get healthy ourselves over and over and over again, and really only in the last 9 months or so have we been able to be successful.
Yes.
And so part of that success, a big part of the success is eating right, but part of getting healthy is also exercise. And I know for myself, I needed to have some sort of exercise routine that I wouldn't be able to have any excuses for. And so I kind of just have these half a dozen or so exercises that I do at home, and I have no excuse not to do them because I can do them anywhere pretty much. So some of the videos will be about that stuff. Most of it will be about the recipes Sarah was talking about. We'll also show us at different grocery stores, maybe shopping, picking out good ingredients, at least what we think are good ingredients. I've found a bunch of books and blogs and podcasts and stuff like that that I found helpful. So I'll be mentioning those. Yeah, and then just other miscellaneous stuff. Like a big part of us being successful is supporting each other. So that's a huge part of it, and also not just the recipes, but the idea of food prepping in general, as opposed to, okay, we know all these recipes, and now, what are we gonna have for dinner? Let's get all our ingredients together. We got to cook a whole meal. We know that if we were to go about it that way, of just kind of winging it each night, or even if we had a plan for each night, it's still so much easier to just order a pizza than to cook a meal. So what Sarah does, which is awesome, is she'll cook us our meals for the week over the course of 1 or 2 days. So maybe a Friday and a Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday. She'll cook a whole bunch of stuff, and then we just put the stuff in the refrigerator, and we have our meals for the whole week. No more cooking needed for the rest of the week. And that and the support of each other, those have been the two most important pieces that have helped us be successful.
Yes. A little bit about us. We have been together 17.5 years. We were high school sweethearts. I was 15 and he was 16 when we started dating. We're currently married for 8 years, and we have a beautiful 4-year-old daughter. Currently trying for number 2, so hope that happens quick. But we, like I said, we've been together a really long time. We've had a lot of stuff in our relationship, and food has always been a toxic part of our relationship. We were always enabling each other. I knew exactly how to manipulate him into getting what I wanted, and he didn't want to fight with me, so he would let me have whatever I wanted, and it was just not good, and we just relied too much on food in our relationship, and because of that we were extremely unhealthy. We were not being good role models to our daughter. We were not being the best that we could be in our marriage for each other, and for me, I've struggled with my weight for years. For most of my life, I have always had body image issues. I've always thought I was fat when I wasn't. I've struggled with anorexia. I have struggled with food addiction, and that is extremely difficult to overcome. And I know exactly what emotional eating is. Our food was ridiculous, the way that we would binge and the way that we would eat. It was just insane. And it's just a vicious cycle, because you get into depression, and you know what you're putting in your body causes you to have, you know, guilt and shame, and you know, depression. And so for me, it was just a vicious cycle. The more I became depressed, and the more I became, you know, shameful and guilty, like that I'm eating like this, the more I wanted food. So I would have the food, and then in return you're getting all the same emotions, and it's just a cycle, and you just keep doing it. And I ended up being almost 300 pounds until I was coming to the point in my life where it was like, you know, this is my life. I'm destined to be fat. I'm destined to be unhealthy. And I honestly, in the back of my mind, didn't think I was going to reach 40 at this point. I had a lot of health issues going on. I was pre-diabetic. I had fatty liver. I had reflux. We had reflux every night, like horrible reflux.
I had it all day.
All day. He would have to start taking Tums. He would go through bottles of Tums. I had stomach issues. It didn't matter what I ate. I had like IBS stuff. I had headaches, dizziness. I had tingling hands and feet. I had so many health stuff. You know, women issues. You know, my periods were never there, and if they were there, they were months long. You know, it just, every single thing was out of whack. And you know, my mom ended up seeing a holistic doctor. She got referred to a friend, and she started going, and he put her on the keto diet, and she started dropping weight, and she's like, you know, Sarah, I really think you should go. And at this point, I was the biggest I ever was, you know, and I was around like 280 pounds at that point. And you know, I was like, oh, I don't want to dish out the money, it's a lot of money. And you know, but then looking at it as a whole, like, what could I lose? You know, I've tried everything, you name it. I've done every diet, and it just, it would work for a time, and then the second I would go off, I would just binge, and I would say, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to get on it, and I'm going to do it again, and it would never happen. And I wanted to so badly, but the food just, it would take over, and then I would gain everything that I lost, plus 10, 20 more. And I did that for years. I just yo-yoed back and forth, and I've done every kind of diet. And so I really was like, you know what, this is my last chance. Like, I'm either just going to be fat, or this is going to work for me. So I really wasn't going into seeing this doctor like with high hopes, you know, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna magically lose all this weight. And I was hoping, but I really wasn't hopeful. And I ended up going and seeing him, and I love him. He is the most fabulous man, and he really helped me. He did food allergy tests on me, and all the blood work. He tested me for everything. And come to find out, I have, you know, gluten and dairy and egg intolerances, and they're pretty high. And that was basically my diet. Everything was sugar, and everything was carbs and fat, and I did eggs all the time. And so he put me on like a paleo type diet. Now that means things to different people. Obviously there's very strict paleo, there's very laid back. I'm doing what he told me, but it's a paleo type diet. So a lot of my recipes are going to be paleo type. But there are going to be certain things that some people are not, you know, they don't believe that it's paleo, and there's things that I believe are. So just as a disclaimer, you know, I don't want people coming at me like, oh my god, oatmeal's not, you know, or peas are not, you know, paleo. Like, I know. So, but for me, in my world, it is. So, but I ended up seeing the doctor, and he put me on like that kind of diet, and you know, lots of fruits, lots of veggies, which I never touched before. And I hated it. I always went to, you know, I come from a big Italian family, so everything is bread and pasta, and, you know, that is my life, and pizza, and all the good things. So, but it was killing me, and I really came to a realization that I'm killing myself for cookies. I am killing myself for a plate of pasta, and or 2 bowls, whatever it is. And when you really put that into perspective, that I am cutting my life short and my kids, you know, time with me and his time with me because I want cookies, that's profound, and it's really not okay to do. And so when I met the guy, the doctor, I absolutely loved him, and he put me on this. I said, you know what, I'm really going to try it. And I tried it, and it was very difficult. You know, you go through detox symptoms just like you're withdrawing from drugs. You know, sugar is ridiculous. And I ended up, I just started dropping weight. I started feeling good. Everything started working better. And within 3 months, I had lost 50 pounds at that point, and, you know, close to it. And I just kept going. And I've been on it for, I think, 10 months now, and I am 100 pounds down. And if you had told me this back in January when I went and saw him for the first time, I would have laughed at you. I would have been like, no, there's no way I would ever be this size again. There's no way I would ever feel this good again. And it's just amazing that I literally reversed everything. Everything is normal. All my blood work is normal. I don't have fatty liver anymore. I don't have diabetes anymore. Like, I don't have anything. And, you know, we just had Thanksgiving, and normally him and I would go nuts on Thanksgiving. We would have plates of food and tons of things, and we enjoyed, but we did not overdo the way that we normally would. And I would have gained maybe 5 pounds. I would have weighed myself the next day, and it would have been like 5 pounds heavier from Thanksgiving. I barely gained anything. And, you know, that just shows me that my body is able to metabolize, you know, what I'm eating, and it's working properly. And I have no problem getting right back on. Whereas before, it would take me months sometimes to click back in and be like, you know what, we need to get healthy again. And here I am, already have gained the 30 pounds that I had lost and added 20 more. And so now I'm even further, you know, and it's just more hopeless, and I get more depressed. And it just wasn't good for us. It wasn't good for our daughter, you know. Family, friends, you start secluding yourself. You start just not living life, and it's not okay. For what? For cooking, and, you know, for cookies and pasta. And it's just not okay. And so this channel is really to help anybody struggling with food addiction, or, you know, wanting to just be healthy, and, you know, making really good food, easy food. And like he said, we do food prep, and the food prep really helps. You have to have support from your friends and family. If you do not have that, it's going to be very difficult for you to stay on it. And you know, there were many times I felt like giving up, and he really pushed me, and he wouldn't let me this time, and he wouldn't give in to me. He wouldn't accept my manipulation when I wanted to go out to eat, or I wanted pizza, and he would say no. And that's where I knew he changed. And you know, and I just thank him all the time. You know, he really, really helped me, and he saved my life, because I don't think I would be here like much longer. And the doctor even said I was going to have full-blown diabetes within a year or so. And at that point, there was really nothing I could do. Like, I made it just in time to reverse what I had done. And it doesn't mean that you go without consequence. You know, both of us, from years and years of abuse, we had to get our gallbladders. You know, he's having gallbladder issues now, and he's going to have to get his out. I just had mine out, you know, 2 months ago. And you know, it's not without consequence, like what you do to your body. So I feel great now, but, you know, I had months of pain and issues, and it's because of what I did to my body.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be an inspiration. Even if you don't want to think of it as like inspiration, hopefully it will just be at least some help. If anyone else is trying to get healthy, or trying to get some kind of healthy routine going, whatever. Hopefully the things that made us successful will carry over to
Right.
any of you guys watching?
I just want to help people because I know how hopeless some people will feel, you know, and in this weight battle, and I know what it's like, and if I can encourage anybody or help anybody with cooking or anything, I want to do it because it's such an epidemic right now, and it's just not life, and no matter what you tell yourself, you're not happy. You know, I tried to convince myself for years that I'm fine, you know, I'll manage, it's cool, you know, but being a size 20, I was not happy. You know, I had gained, I think, 125 pounds since being married. I think that was the heaviest. The heaviest was 286, and you know, looking back at, because I kept all my clothes, you know, and you would just, I would look back at my clothes and I'm like, oh my god, you know, I was a size 9, and you know, I never thought I would, you know, get anywhere close to that again. And not that it's about your looks so much, you know, I really did it to get rid of what was going on in my body. I was really hoping to reverse. And, you know, we want another baby, so, like, obviously I want to try to be as healthy as possible. But it's just...
Well, the better, regardless of the numbers, like the
Yes.
pounds that you weigh, or,
Yes.
you know, whatever situation's going on inside you, like, physiologically and stuff, if you don't feel good about yourself,
Yes.
it's, you don't want to be around other people, and when you are around other people, it's hard to be happy.
Right.
And so as you get healthier, you know, as we've been getting healthier, we find ourselves like wanting to be around other people more and having a good time with people.
It's not so forced, and I'm not a fake person by any means. I can't do it. And those of you, my friends and stuff, that they know me, I can't do that. You see emotion on my face. You see every type of thing. So I can't sit there and hide, you know, so much depression or anything. I just tend to seclude myself. And it's just, I think food addiction is the hardest thing to overcome. And I have an addictive personality in general. I've been, you know, I've had a lot of different things. But food is by far the hardest, and obviously because you need it to live. You don't need other things to live. And, you know, and growing up too, it's how you're raised and everything. And like I said, I come from an Italian family, so everything, my mom is a phenomenal cook. You know, I grew up with wonderful food, you know, and Italians, I think in general, everything is, you know, food is with everything. It's celebrated. You know, you have food with every type of thing. And in my family, it was no different. And, you know, we had fantastic meals. So I always surrounded emotions with food. And then when I was growing up and I had some things happen to me, I turned to food instead. And that's when I started using it as a crutch, and I started becoming dependent and addicted, you know, and sneaking it, and that's when I started having issues. And it just spiraled. Over the years it spiraled, and like I said, I would get healthy at times, lose a bunch, and then gain it all. It was never consistent, you know, I never was, you know, healthy for long periods of time. I always looked for the quick fix. And clearly it doesn't work. Like, this is what we're doing is a lifestyle change. This is going to be, you know, the 80-20 rule. You know, this is really 80% of the time, or even 90% of the time, this is what we are going to do for the rest of our life. And, you know, when I get to goal, which is in maybe another like 20-25 pounds, you know, it's just maintaining from there and eating a paleo type lifestyle. And if we want pizza one night, it's okay. You can go out and get pizza. I that's okay to do. You can get sandwiches and everything. At least your body can metabolize it, and your body will let you know if it is not happy. I've had reactions to things that I thought I'd be fine, instant headaches, instant stomach problems, like whatever it may be, I've had it. So, you know, your body will tell you, like, you know, oh no, I don't like this. So it's very interesting. We do strive to try to do mostly organic or all natural. I really try. So like in my cooking, there is going to be a lot of organic products, or non-GMO at least, because we're just trying to stay away from a lot of the chemicals, because the food industry is just horrendous. However, you do whatever you need to do. Whatever your budget is, whatever your pantry is, you do that. You make modifications. There's going to be things that maybe I cook, there's certain ingredients you don't like. That's okay. Omit them, add something else. You know, that's obviously, do whatever you're going to do. I do that personally. I'll take a recipe and I look at it and I'm like, and I go through and I make it my own. And that's what all my recipes, you know, that I'm going to be doing on this channel are. And we're going to do a variety. We're going to do a lot of different things. I'm going to do some regular, but not so much. But I'm going to do mostly a dairy-free, gluten-free diet. There will be some vegan. There will be some. There will be baking. I'm going to do baking. I did go to the Culinary Institute, so I do have a background in baking and pastry. So I will do some of that. I can show you how easy it is to make a recipe gluten-free or dairy-free. You know, sometimes it gets tricky with like the butter and eggs and stuff. You kind of need eggs. So that I don't really stray from. But, you know, you can replace sugars, you can replace flours, you can replace that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking, like our weekly food prep. I will show you all the recipes that we do, and you know, like he said, we do I do food prep like one day a week, and I make like 5 things, and we keep it in the fridge, and then we have it for lunch and dinner. We pick what we want, and breakfast we usually do a smoothie or oatmeal, gluten-free oatmeal, and that's typically what we do, and it's just, we feel so good, and you know, our daughter is on board with it, and she likes, you know, a lot of the stuff that, you know, we make, and you know, she's seen a big difference in us and our attitude and our relationship, and we've just had so much overwhelming support, and it's just been amazing. And so we really wanted to make this channel to inspire or help anybody, even if people are just looking for a recipe, that's fine, you know, but if I can help one person, that's good enough for me, and I'm just really excited to do it, and I hope you guys like it, and we'll be filming very soon. So this was just an intro to introduce ourselves and to explain why we've decided to do something like this.
And we're always experimenting with new recipes. So if you guys watching, if you have recipes that you'd like to share that you think are great, go ahead and feel free to let us know or whatever. Or if you have a video of you doing the recipe, and you want to put it out there, you know, to let us know.
Absolutely.
We also have an Instagram account, so as far as like when we try new things out, we'll be taking pictures, posting them on Instagram. And then once we get around to doing a full video of the whole process of making the meal, we'll be uploading that as well. But for little things like that, definitely keep an eye on our Instagram account, Twitter, stuff like that. Facebook page. We're pretty excited.
Very excited.
Plus, our hope is, we're somewhat selfish with this, is that aside from wanting to help you guys if possible, you guys also get to be an extra bit of accountability for us. We won't want to disappoint you guys, you know what I mean? So when holidays like Thanksgiving come up, and where you're tempted to just go off the deep end. You know, and be like, oh, well, you know, we kind of want to make
Film
a
me a
video,
video.
and
Yeah.
you don't want to be hypocritical. As Sarah said, she's like, you know,
I'm not.
the farthest thing from a hypocrite possible. So, not that I am a hypocrite, but she's, yeah, so,
I'm tough.
yeah. But to be fun, we want it to be laid back, we want it to
Yes.
be, you know, almost like a community type thing. We want it to just be
Like we're inviting friends
we're-
over.
Yeah.
So-
We are essentially inviting you to our house while we cook some meals and get healthy.
Yes.
And we hope that you decide to get healthy with us.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Yep. So, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you soon. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I don't know how long this goes for, hopefully. 20 minutes. There, so it can be seen. Beer. Gluten-free beer. So. Mm-hmm. Fail. Fail, fail.
Love you.
Oh.